name's Jeremy, and today I'm going to show you a really great dice filler game by the name of Sushizock in Gockelwok, and that's a German title. The game is published in Germany by Zock, but there are English rules in the box. I think that it was available in the US for a while, but it might be out of print. It was published in 2008, so you might have to look on the used market to get this. The game is for ages 8 and up, and it plays in about 20 minutes for 2 to 5 players. I'm going to take a moment to show you the rules of the game, and I'll come back and give you my thoughts on it. Okay, so here I've set up the game, and this is how things will look at the start of the game. And you'll notice that there are 5 dice in the game. These dice have a number of different symbols. So there are fish bones. Each die has 2 fish bones. Each die has 2 sushi rolls. Each die has 1 set of blue chopsticks and 1 set of red chopsticks. So those 5 dice are identical. And you'll notice here there are 2 rows of tiles, and these are nice clicky tiles. If you've played the game Picomino, they're similar in quality. And they are going to be laid in the center of the table, and they go from left to right. So there are 2 types of tiles. There are sushi tiles, which are going to net you positive points as depicted on them, and then there are rotten sushi tiles, fishbone tiles, that are going to net you negative points as depicted on those. So these are just randomly laid out, and then the first player will begin. So what you do on your turn is you roll the dice, and then you have up to 3 rolls, and after each roll you could set aside any number of dice, and then you could choose to re-roll the rest. So on my second roll I might roll this, maybe I'll keep that sushi, and if I wanted to I could re-roll things I've already set aside. So it's a new decision each turn, what you want to keep, what you want to set aside. Then you might want to re-roll again. So once that your 3 rolls are up, or if you choose to stop early, you're faced with a decision. So the first thing that you could do is you look at how many fish bones you have. If I have 1 fish bone, that means I could take the first fish bone tile, and I would add that to my points. So I would just set that in a stack of fishbone tiles in front of me. So that'd be worth negative 2 points if I kept that at the end of the game. Or instead, I could choose, you see I have 2 sushi rolls. That means I could take the second, because 1, 2, 1, 2, sushi tile. So this would be a plus 6 points. So I would probably choose to grab that. And then that would just sit in front of me, again, in a stack of just these sushi rolls. So this is going to happen over the course of the game, that people are going to be creating stacks in front of them. So let's say on my next turn I took this minus 2, that would go in a separate stack. So you always keep the 2 things separate. And let's say on my third attempt I got this plus 2, and I would put that on top of the 6. So I'd create a stack. So on an opponent's turn, or on any player's turn, let's say they roll 3 of these red chopsticks. Instead of taking the first sushi with this, they could use these 3 chopsticks. And what that does is it allows them to steal one of these tiles and add to their pile. So the first tile on anybody's pile could be stolen with 3 chopsticks. If they'd roll 4 red chopsticks, they could declare that they want to steal any red fishbone tile from another player. And they could say, for example, I want to steal the 3rd one down in your pile. So there is a little bit of a memory aspect, remembering which tiles people have. And the blue chopsticks work similarly. So if another player had rolled 3 blue chopsticks, they could take my plus 2. But if they remembered I'd had the 6 down there, 2 down, if they'd roll 4 chopsticks, they could say, I'm going to steal the 2nd tile down on your pile, and they would get my plus 6. So because of that, on your turn you're always going to be either taking a tile here using the sushi rolls, a tile here using the fish bones, or another player's tile using one of the 2 colors of chopsticks. If after your die roll there's no valid selection, you're going to take the highest negative value. So that would be like the negative 4, and you add that to your display. So that's going to continue going around like that until all of the tiles are taken out of the middle. That means each player has collected these tiles. So you could continue stealing from each other or whatever, but the moment somebody takes the last tile from these 2 rows, then the game will end and you will score. So let's just, for example, set these up. And let's say I've collected these tiles. So the way that the scoring works in this game, and this will explain why you may want to steal somebody's fishbone, is the first thing that you do at the end of the game is you look at your pile of sushi tiles versus your pile of fish bones. And I'm not sure how clear it is from the video, but here I have one more sushi tile than the fish bones. The way it works is you can only score the number of sushi tiles as you've collected an equal number of fish bones. So since this one's on the top, it doesn't have a fish bone corresponding to it, that just immediately gets discarded out of the game. Then after you've done that, you're gonna lay up all of your tiles that are going to be able to be scored, and you just tally up the points. So for example, 6, 8, 9, 12, 15, minus 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my total score would be 8. Whoever has the highest score at the end of the game is going to be the winner. Okay, so Sushizock im Gockelwok. This is a really terrific filler game. It's a press your luck dice filler that has a lot of player interaction because you're going to be stealing tiles from one another, and it plays in about 20 minutes, which is about appropriate for a game like this. And whether you're playing with 2 players all the way up to 5, it plays equally well. I would say just because of the nature of the stealing, it probably does play better with more players. But it's designed by Reiner Knizia, who has this sort of game down to a science. He has another game called Pickomino, which is really similar. It uses these same clicky-clacky plastic tiles, and that's, if not as good, maybe a little better than this game. But this game is unique, and it's entertaining. I've played it dozens of times with many different groups of people of various board gaming experience, and it's really gone over well with all of them. So this is something that's going to be permanently in my collection. I would definitely recommend that you track down a copy. It can't be terribly expensive because it's such a small little game. Though, like I said, it might not be immediately available. You might have to do some searching for it. But if you're looking for a dice filler, it's one of the best, so it's probably worth it. So that's my opinion on Sushizock im Gockelwok, and thanks for watching.